Well, I always ask comics on here their worst booze story or bombing story.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to start it with this, but you
No.
kind of brought up the grind and that
Yeah.
come up. So
Yeah.
like, what kind of comes to mind of thinking of shows that just
I mean, to me, it's like more than just shows. It's just like weekends at clubs. You know, I did a weekend at a comedy club in the Mall of America, and I've never been so alone in my life. I mean, it was in July in Minnesota, when Minnesota has 3 warm months, and July's one of them. And yeah, it was just one of those weekends where there was no more than 10 people each night. And you just take it on the chin. You can clearly hear the cook laugh, which is tough because he's the furthest from the stage. And you know, those type of those, you know, along the way, I've you know, you do comedy, Joel. You know this. You've been doing it for a long time. You do it in the craziest rooms. I mean, I've done it at a reptile shop in Colorado. Do you know how hard that is? I mean, just surrounded by lizards and frogs and. You know, it was the toughest show I've ever done, you know? So yeah, those really make the big shows, the sold out shows, that's what makes it all, you know, feel so good and pay off. You know, one thing I always tell people, you know, when you have a day job and you work all the time, when you work all the time and you come home, just sitting on the couch feels like vacation. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When you don't work at all and you sit around the house, it feels like torture. So, I mean, that's kind of how, like, being on the road, I mean, when you've seen so bad, having a little bit of good or having just a room full of people, I mean, it feels it feels really good. And I think it feels that way because I started off, you know, kind of fighting through the mud, and then you get on the other side, and I'd like to think that I appreciate it more. Not more than everybody else, but I think you appreciate the journey more, you know, when you take that route.